these like Chris Brown, right? Like wanted to be in a gang. If you don't have to be in one, what is the point of like putting yourself in one?
I think, a lot of people, this question comes up a lot when we're talking about Chris, right? And a lot of people think like Chris is this way and he's not that way, and he's a R&B singer and he shouldn't be this and he shouldn't be that. I mean, but does an R&B singer make you not hood? Or being hood, can you not sing? And so it's like, Chris is for sure from Virginia,
Right.
but he been out here for more than half his life.
I mean, but he's successful and rich. Like, why do you need to join a gang for?
I mean, maybe that's something that he got into just by affiliation. Like in the beginning of Chris' career, especially when he was out here, he had a lot of, homies, like some of my homies around him, and they were like, holding him down.
So like for protection?
I don't think it's for protection. I think that's holding you down. I think it's crowd control. I think it's making sure that, that you make it out of this club okay. And I mean, any type of celebrity or person of stature needs or should have some form of protection. It ain't no punk shit to have some people
protection.
watching your back. Yeah, I mean, yeah, it is.
Right.
But I'm saying for Chris, like a lot of people get him twisted. Like he
That
really
they think he's soft or something?
He ain't soft though.
Right.
I know it. Like I know it. And it's coming from me.
Yeah.
Like Chris is he gonna show up every time on some, on some hood shit. And that's just what he doing. You can't, and at a certain point, like from a certain point at a certain point, that has to be respected.
All right. So you're about that life, Chris Brown.
You're gonna have to get Chris on here,
right,
to answer for itself. But
these like
That's
Chris Brown, right? Like one.
What do you think about that? Why? Like, what are our thoughts on that? Let me hear from the women first.
I was about to ask crazy.
You first.
Okay. So like my thought on that is because he did immerse himself in that lifestyle and like wanted to speak on, make music about, be part of like that arena, he just like the protection aspect, I see why he's speaking that, but I think that because of like how Chris carries himself and stuff like that, he wanted to be able to like, he didn't want to be like told he wasn't that. You know what I mean? Like, oh, you shouldn't sing on that because that's not who you are. That's not, you didn't live that life. You know, you didn't come from like that walk of life or whatever like that. So like, to be able to sing about and be part of like that arena, like he wanted to feel like he had earned it. You know what I mean?
That makes sense. I'm not mad at that. What do you think, Melissa?
I honestly don't know. No comment. Skip me.
No comment. Are you a Chris Brown fan?
I like some of his music. I don't agree with the DV situation.
Okay.
But I never looked into
Which one?
Nothing about him really.
Yeah. No. What do you think? What's your thoughts on that take we just heard?
Chris Brown is one of the older. Chris Brown's one of the older artists we know that's still like from the early 2000s capable of making music these days. So when you take him out of 2025 and put him in 2005, you name a rapper that came out that wasn't gang affiliated, and I'll have an answer for you. You name a rapper, music artist that came from the black community or anything like that wasn't claiming something. I swear to God, if my memory, what?
Melly?
He was still claiming he was from the hood, rocking bandanas and acting stupid.
Yeah, but that's not a gang. The hood is not a gang.
Claiming that you basically affiliate yourself with any version of a gangbanger, in my opinion, it's all the same.
So if you say, if
I
someone says they're from the hood, that means they're gang affiliated?
If that's how you want to portray yourself, especially as a successful person, 6ix9ine did, and then look at his fucking situation.
Right, he was affiliating with Bloods, not the hood. The hood and Bloods. Henry Street is the hood, it's not a gang. What? Henry Street is a street. It is like a less poverty.
It's not relevant.
No, it's relevant.
It's not.
Why? What's not relevant?
I don't want to talk about it. That was irrelevant. That's what was back to your point.
I'm lost. You lost me. We were just having a conversation. So
Right.
What's not relevant?
When I said that was just a side opinion that popped up.
Okay.
It wasn't relevant.
Okay.
But again, in the early 2000s, everybody was affiliated with a gang of some sort, even if they didn't claim Bloods or Crips or something like that. There were Latin gangs, there were all types of gangs. So I remember at a point in time in middle school, because we idolized these rappers and music artists so much, we would do shit like come to school with bandanas and shit like that, trying to claim we were affiliated to these gangs that we've never once.
I don't think it's even necessarily the gang, but I think like you're trying to affiliate with the lifestyle.
Right.
Like, you know what I mean? And I think that comes back to like, you know, like if I want to be able to claim this, then
and that's different. Like that's why it's different. Like I get what you're saying. Well, as far as middle school, I can remember in middle school like doing stupid shit like that, like trying to be like, cause I thought it was cool or whatever. But that's not Chris Brown at 20 something, 25, 30 something, 35. Doing that, like he's not in middle school.
When he was 16, the thought process probably was honestly having some security like that and being a part of a gang while making money, being a very up and coming young black man in America. That sounds pretty fucking cool right now. And then all it's gonna do is get me, before the term was out there, clout to be a better, more portrayed person. Oh, look at the light-skinned motherfucker. Oh, he's a Blood and he's gang affiliated. Holy shit, he's about that life now. Now things are interesting. In that moment, that's probably his thought process. Then he got to the fucking gang hangout, 15 niggas surrounding him about to beat his ass to get in this gang. And he probably figured in that moment, wow, I really have to live a lifestyle because of what I wanted to portray.
So now this is funny because now we're talking about a timeline, because you said 16. When Chris Brown got on, he was like 15, 16. Mm-hmm. But when he was gang affiliated, when he was like quote unquote a Blood or whatnot, that was after the Rihanna situation. What was way after when he got on. He was on, like when he got on Rihanna, he was at least maybe 18, 19. So when he became Blood affiliated, he was probably like 20, 21. So it's not when he got on. Basically, you was already rich.
The way I was under my impression, he was a part of a gang since before he was even like in the music industry. And the reason why his mom heavily pushed on him singing was because he was in gangs and he had a very good voice to sing.
I've never heard that.
I've heard that. Look it up.
I've never heard that.
Right.
I'm not saying you're wrong. I'm not saying you're wrong. I just never heard that. How do you guys feel?
I don't know. Like, I don't know enough, I think. But, like, I would think, like, I mean, is Virginia, like, really hard? Like, with the gangs?
Virginia is like any other place, but they're very hard.
Like, is that his need? Like, I don't know.
He's from Virginia, obviously. Chris Brown's associating with Bloods is not a matter of official confirmation. He has claimed to be a Blood, but his membership is not verified by gang authorities. Some sources suggest he embraced the association after rising to fame, and his integration was facilitated by a smaller figure within Bloods.
That's not answering our question. All it says is he embraced the affiliation by the time he was rising to fame. He never said whether or not he was actually in a gang before or not.
Well, if you're in it, are you not embracing it?
I mean, if I'm trying, it depends on the spectrum. If I'm trying to make money and I don't want to be the nigga that could get fucked up for being gang affiliated, maybe
what's
not.
a gang authority?
In
like
my
an OG
opinion,
or something?
In my opinion,
what's a gang authority? Like you said, gang authorities. Like, were they?
Did I say gang authority? Verified by gang authorities, by like I don't know, like
there are some well-known gang members that are like people just don't on a face value social. They'll kill you.
Some reports indicate that Brown embraced the Bloods after becoming a successful musician, potentially as a way to connect with his roots or gain respect within the community. That's what I'm saying. Like, it was after the fact that he got on and got famous and successful as a musician that he quote unquote claimed to be a Blood and embraced being a Blood, like embracing his claim.
So then, honestly, back to what the game was saying on that point, if he was already successful making money, again, there's only so much regular security can do in my head as a young up and coming star in a black America, bro. There's only so much security could do. Like, so if I get gangs that like I'm a Blood, but don't nobody know what gang I'm affiliated with, which means if you touch me, anybody with a red flag could just decide to pop on you or some shit. And I'm a high value person. So, like, I'm definitely fueling said gangs to keep quiet, too. They're not going to, if the security guard don't do it, they're going to make sure I'm okay. For a fact.
Also, I feel like maybe he was just, like, embracing some of the shit that did happen with Rihanna. Like, damn, the world has seen me. They know I'm violent. They know
That's not a
I'm
bad
doing
take.
this.
That's
They
not a
know
bad
I'm
take because
doing
that's
that.
the same time he got like crazy tatted up.
Maybe he just has some
Yeah.
like wicked good, like political, like you know what I mean, like public PR, yeah.
Okay.
Like,
But like, I don't think a PR would push that. I get what you're saying. I think that him and himself started to embrace that because again, he got tatted up. Like PR is not gonna make you get tatted up or tell you you should get tatted up or you should embrace fucking domestic violence. You know what I mean? Like that's no real PR is gonna do that. If anything, I think he went against PR and just did what he felt internally and just did what he quote unquote did what he wanted. Because then he also there were different occasions where he got like pinned for or like booked or whatever for different things, whether it be like guns or drugs or whatever it should be. I don't want to like. I was a little specific with that, and I don't like know exactly, but I know that the Rihanna situation wasn't the only time he was arrested.
social, yeah.
Yeah, so it's like
I was gonna say, but most of the times, most of them, like a heavy amount of them, anything after Rihanna that consisted of domestic violence for Chris Brown, almost all the charges were dropped. People have been writing him hitting Rihanna as the excuse as to he's just not a good person, to the point where when they hear his name, domestic abuse, and this girl, they don't even think. Y'all remember that one time there was a little bitch hiding in his 6-building mansion? He didn't even know she was there, calling the cops and shit, had SWAT team outside his crib one morning. He was just like, I don't even know where this bitch is at in my crib. Like, I have no clue what the fuck she's talking about. But the moment they heard Chris Brown, woman, domestic violence, everybody on social media in hours made him a bad guy. Hours. So, like, I don't agree.
Listen, I think everything
think
takes two, and like, I'm not saying like domestic violence is the answer and stuff like that, but like, I mean, I'm just saying like, I feel like every situation like takes two people, like something out of the situation, you know.
Melissa, anything on this topic, or you want to get to the next one?
No, I mean, I just hope he found some growth through it all, but.
My opinion, he's going way up, bro. He takes care of all 3 kids regularly on tour.
That's
why I'd be like, yo, when people immediately think bad of him, I'm like, the nigga has full custody of his kids as a superstar.
I think everybody has a past too. Like, I don't think.
When
and
I
think
hear
that
his
that's
name,
something that
the
men
first
get
thing I think
too.
of is the DV.
Oh yeah,
exactly. I think that that's something that men
judge
suffer
him
from
for
more than women too. I feel like men want to be like, women hold men to their past, whereas like sometimes women are like, oh my goodness, she's grown so much, you know. Like,
shout out to Darius on YouTube. I don't know this guy, but he said his name was Darius X. He said men should be held to a higher standard. As a man, you have to be in control of how your emotions control your actions. Hey, if you guys like this video, make sure you check out these videos where we talk more about music, dating, and real life situations. Thank you for supporting the podcast. Make sure you check out these videos and make sure you subscribe. Peace.